Hello everyone, today I'll be making a Super Mario Sunshine tier list. If you don't know that game, it features Mario the Plumber and his contraption companion, Flood. So, let's jump right in, shall we? As you can see, this will be all Super Mario Sunshine enemies tier list. I apologize if you can hear the massive road race going on outside. It's just a nightmare out there, folks. I mean, you know how it is. But, I figured it would be good for me to do something like this right now. I think maybe this is what the world needs. Well, right off the bat, let me just give you my first impressions. I'm not recognizing a lot of these. Almost all of them. As a matter of fact, you can kind of see there. Everyone remembers, I think, from Mario, like the Boo creature from Mario. He's the one where, Mario will walk up to him and be looking at him, and he'll be like this. He'll be like, and then, when Mario walks away, then the Boo will be like. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of a well-known Mario enemy. I'm going to go ahead, though. I'm going to charge forward. I'm going to try to name as many of these as we can. I'm not maybe going to get through all of them, but the ones at least that I remember, I think that's what we'll do. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and say Pokey. As you can see, cut off. I don't know if you guys can actually see that on the screen there, but the head is cut off. That could be something totally different. Can I just say that, first of all? If you're making this tier list, thank you for making it, by the way, I'm using it. And you can't see the face of the enemy, that's pretty important. This isn't a Koopa where I can tell by the shell, because he's kind of got a green and white shell. That could, to anyone, to a layman, this could be like a tumbleweed. But, whatever. So that's going to go in D tier. Let's lightning round this. Let's speed this up. Piranha Plant C tier, kind of the worst designed Piranha Plant. Now these I actually do like. I don't know what they're called. I think they're only in this game. Kind of like these ink gelatin blobulin sort of people. That's going to go in B. Okay, now this is really interesting. I want you guys to notice this. So you'll notice that there's a Boo here, right? And let me just there's a Boo here, right? So that's, that's the you would think, oh, okay, there's Boo, right? And you'll remember, so there's Boo. But if you actually go down, you'll notice, okay, wait, that's not just Boo, that's sleeping Boo. And this is Boo when he's awake. So, already I don't want to be too critical here, but, tier list makers probably could have been one slot. We can move past that. F tier. And of course, and actually there's another, but actually that's fair. That Boo actually, if you don't remember, he actually transforms into a platform. So instead of going like this, actually he still does do that, but he also, if he's squirted water on, he becomes a platform that you can then jump on. And I actually love that level of the game. It's based on The Shining. So that's going to go in B tier. Sorry, you guys can't see. I'll place him again. I'll go to B tier. And this will, of course, go in F. This guy, kind of, I think he's unkillable. Not an interesting enemy to fight against. If there's no challenge, there's no way to overcome this enemy, then what's even the point? So, yeah, but that'd be F tier. Blooper, D. Fine. I don't remember this. I don't think that's in the game. And you look at the render here, it's, that's not in the game. So just make sure. Okay. Yeah. Yep. This is, I don't think that's in the game. That's a Starbit from Mario Galaxy. This is highly questionable. If this is in the game, maybe it is. I could be totally wrong about this. It could be in the game. This render is not from the game. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm 99% sure that's either Mario Party or Mario Galaxy. So, you know, things to keep in mind. Piranha plant. I don't know if that's supposed to be Speedy Piranha. Oh no, these are the ones that fire goop at you. So, you know, they'll have mud in their mouth and they'll go, you know, and then goop will come out. F tier. F tier, he doesn't exist. I'm not even going to rank him because he doesn't exist. Actually, I do recognize that. That is a bulletable bill. Excuse me. That is in the game. That's going to go there. These timed bombs, way worse than a bomb, way less personality. There's a reason why you haven't seen these again. F tier. Bullet bill, F tier. Cataquack, that's probably an easy S tier. So iconic, I would say, that has kind of transcended most of the enemies in Mario Sunshine. You know, some enemies in various Mario games will become icons. Obviously, the Goomba, the Koopa. If you go to Mario Brothers 3, the Angry Sun, I would say, is kind of an iconic enemy who has appeared in other games as well. The Cataquack is, since Mario Sunshine, I think, made a huge impact in other games in the franchise. He's playable. Actually, they're playable in Mario Kart World, if that's going to tell you anything. So, this fat fish, Angry Chain Chomp, S tier because of the level. A tier because of the level. An excellent mechanic in that level. You're controlling the Chain Chomp. You're like, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? I'm gonna, you know, whoa, what's he doing? And he's actually breaking and destroying things. I think. I actually don't remember. Naked Chicken. Don't know what that is. That's gonna go. Now I could do this. I'm gonna actually save this for the last. No, okay. There's a bunch of. I didn't want to get into this right away, but you may not know this. My favorite Mario Sunshine enemy, one of my favorite enemies in Mario, in gaming in total, I would say, is Strollin' Stew, and that's this here. This guy. I don't know if you can see that. I'm pointing at it here. So. I wanted to kind of leave that a surprise, do that at the very end and kind of tip off the top of S rank, but Cat's kind of out of the bag right now. I'm not going to do his variants because I think that's stupid, but I am going to save him for last, even though we've already seen him at this point. Golden Bullet Bill, nobody cares about that. I'm not going to rank that because that's stupid. These little guys who attach to Flood, as you'll remember, that's Mario's, what did I describe it as? His cooperation companion, and these will actually attach to Flood and make you unable to blow water until you blow them up, and they go, you know. So D tier. The red Cataquack, not interesting. Chain Pups, C tier, annoying. I think that goes without saying. These electric shell guys who are found in the level Wheel World Peninsula or whatever are stupid. You also can't kill them, so no interest there. No challenge. Again, F tier. Starbit, of course, not in this game, if you remember that. These whirlwind creatures, also unkillable. One of the worst enemies ever. You can't do anything. They'll just come at you from it. And picture this: you're on a bridge, okay? Because you are in the game at this moment, and you're walking across trying to get to some kind of village. I don't know exactly what it's called. And you're trying to cross this bridge without falling off. And all of a sudden, from nowhere, with basically no telegraphed movement, which means that you can, you know, see them kind of charging up, a telegraphed punch. You go, whew, big swing like that. These whirlwinds will come out of nowhere and just knock you off. There's nothing you can do other than try to dodge in that millisecond of time that you have. So, yeah, easy F tier. Put those down there. Another electric guy, nobody cares. These water guys from Mario 64, taken from that game, nobody cares. Beehive, so stupid. Okay, so now I'm starting to understand, you know, why most of these enemies don't appear in future Mario games. Is because they are crap. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. So there's Pokey again. No, because that's okay. Then another funny thing, right? So, you know what I meant to do. Another funny thing, right? So you've got the Pokey body. And then you've got the Pokey head as separate entities. And I don't know what we're playing at here, if we're just trying to boost the spots in this tier list or something, if that makes engagement look better. Oh, what a robust tier list. It has every enemy. It's not missing any, but there is no way in hell that I'm going to count those two as separate. So, chew on that. These guys unkillable, annoying, not interesting, poorly designed. That might be a step too far. And okay, yeah, so we're here. So yeah, we're here at Stroll and Stew. And, kind of the moment of truth here. I want to hype this up as much as possible. So if we can get some audience engagement kind of going, maybe start clapping along at home, just a little bit of this. A little bit of, kind of hype yourself up here. I would play a sound for this, but I actually don't have access to my soundboard. Boom. And you'll see that's a Stroll and Stew in S tier. Yeah, for sure. I think had the Goomba not existed at the time, I think Stroll and Stew could have easily been a Goomba level iconic character, iconic enemy in Mario. My reasoning, to be quite honest with you, I think it's just so simple that it works, right? He's like a little dewdrop or a poo type thing with like a huge, he's got his big nose and the Kirby kind of like shoes, some kind of underwear apparatus around him. I think, for my money, at least for my money, easily the most iconic enemy from Mario Sunshine and the best. So yeah, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously didn't rank everything because we're just not going to mess with this nonsense. Not the best tier list I've ever done, but certainly not the worst. Well, actually, yeah, the worst.